Hi, I'm Toni, and this is your daily tarot reading. So let's see, what does the Oracle have to say today? You know, I'm not sure if I've ever seen this one before. This is new to me as well as y'all. So it says, see if we can get that to focus. Focus. Self-respect and worthiness. Self-worth, affirmations, independent, and motivated. I love that. I love that very much. So while we shuffle the tarot, you know, the messages here are about, you know, learning to value yourself, have self-respect for yourself, see the worth in yourself so that you learn to make choices that are worthy of you. And, you know, worth, people think of that as, you know, who we are with or, you know, making, especially people talk about self-worth a lot in relationships. But here's the thing, we forget to treat ourselves as worthy as somebody who deserves to be eating the best food that they can. We forget to treat ourselves as somebody who's worthy of using our bodies and exercising and keeping them healthy. There's a lot of things that we forget that we're worthy of, not just, you know, healthy relationships and healthy boundaries, but we're worthy of having mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, physical health, right? All these things. So where do we begin? Going with the past, we start with Virgo showing up loudly with judgment. There is Archangel Gabriel, and this is really about being kind of judgmental towards yourself, okay? Really looking at yourself in the mirror and you know, which one of us isn't our own worst critic? There is no such thing as somebody who hasn't destroyed themselves more than once. And I know I've never been as harsh with anyone as I ever have been with myself. And so that's what this is. This is just, you know, kind of identifying that you haven't always been motivated to see yourself as the worthy individual who deserves respect, who deserves, you know, love and see yourself as being beautiful and confident and the superstar that you are. All right. So let's see what that's brought us to. Wow. All right. What are we walking away from? I'm hoping we're sailing away and leaving behind judgment, because this is present and this is leaving behind with the Six of Swords, okay? Not looking back. See how she's sailing away from the turbulent waters, moving towards the calm shores, and she's just completely like, no, I'm done, like finished. Hopefully we're sailing away from judgment. Let's clarify. What is it? Clarify Six of Swords. What are we moving away from? We have Leo with strength, and we have the Magician with Aries showing up. Two beautiful fire signs side by side. But very often when the fire signs show up, this is also an indicator to me about pride and ego, okay? And so you're leaving behind this way of thinking, this kind of egoic, prideful way of thinking. And so I think you held yourself to a very high standard, okay? That high standard, I feel like it kind of kept you tapped out of or not aware of your own magic. And by that I mean being able to see how worthy you are and how magical life becomes when everybody around you is having respect for you and you're having respect for everybody. So this is leaving behind being treated like less than and treating yourself less than, okay? This is really stepping into your magic, stepping into your own inner strength even, and seeing who, it's, you know what I feel like? I feel like you're meeting yourself for the first time. I feel like this is almost like you're finally letting go of this false persona of who you've developed yourself to believe you are, of who you've, you know, the voices, the people who've told you you are who you are and you believe them. It's like, you're like, no, that's not who I am. I am somebody who's worthy of a lot. And actually I am a really strong magical being, and I'm about to show y'all, okay? So let's move into the future. So where does this take us? Leaving behind, just, you know, doubt, worry, fear, and seeing yourself as the confident, worthy, beautiful queen that you are, a king that you are, superstar that you are. This is a very interesting one to have. This is the Five of Pentacles. Okay, now look, I think this, I'm going to go ahead and pull a clarity card on this, but let me just say what I'm hearing off the top of my head when I see this. The thing about the Five of Pentacles, you see these two characters here. They're out in the snow. They're dressed inappropriately for the weather, but you know, they're walking past the church, and the church is, you know, it's nighttime, as you can see, or it's in the dark, I guess I should say. And the church is well lit, which means it's probably warm on the inside, okay? And they're on the outside cold. And so in order for them to get that relief, they need to be invited to come inside and seek that relief. But here's the thing. Everybody's always, when we look at this card, people are always like, well, they're on the outside, you know, they haven't been welcome in, or they don't have the you know, the opportunity to come inside, you know, they're kind of stuck outside. But that's not true. Here's the opportunity hanging right over here. Here's the pentacles right here, okay? Everything they need is within their reach. They just need to look up and see it. They need to stop, because if you notice, they're both looking down. They're not really, well, he's looking up. Hang on, I just noticed that. Interesting. His mother's looking down, but the young man notices it. Interesting. You know, I've never even paid attention to that. Interesting. But the mother, she's focusing on her misery. He looks up and he sees the opportunity. And that's what's happening here. You can keep focusing on what isn't working for you, what you don't like about yourself, what you wish could change, what you will never change. Oh, woe is me. And as a result, you are attracting relationships that don't treat you worthy. You attract jobs that don't treat you worthy. You attract friends that don't treat you worthy. You have probably family members that don't treat you with respect and as worthy. I don't know if those words were kind of getting blah, blah, blah together, but you knew what I meant, right? So you think that there's this energy of, you know, oh, woe is me. I'll never be this person I want to be. But that's the thing. You already are. You just have to choose to see that about yourself. Going forward, you're only going to get what you give, okay? So however you treat yourself is exactly how others are going to treat you. And so if you're going to stay focused on what isn't working, then that's what's going to be primarily the focus of your life. But if you want to look up, see that there's a solution, see that there's answers for you, it's fine. And it all begins with you having self-respect for yourself, seeing yourself as the divine, magical, worthy creature that you are. And as you do, coming in from the cold, coming in where the warmth is, where the answers are, where the solutions are. Let's see what the block is. What is the block that's keeping you with your head down, focusing on what you don't like instead of looking up? Look, I mean, this is loud. All right. Sorry about the noise outside my window. I apologize. There is the Queen of Swords, and there's the Three of Swords. Look, swords are the things we think, okay? Let's begin with that. So these are the things we think. So, and obviously, the block is a mental block. But this Queen of Swords, for some of you, this is quite literally heartbreak. This is, you pick this up from your mother, okay? Or from your grandparent, or mother, or a female relative, more than likely. But Queen of Swords is really the single mom card. And so for a lot of you, this is messages you picked up from your mother. Now, it doesn't mean that your mom belittled you or talked down to you, though some of you it could be. Could be that you also just picked up on the way your mother spoke to herself about herself. The way that she, you know, spoke to herself when you were little. You heard that, and that really is ingrained. And that is now the exact same sword that she died on is the sword that you're dying on. It's a sword that you are using to stab yourself in your own heart with. And so that's the block. It's trying to look at, where did this way of thinking about yourself come from? Where did you lose your self-esteem? Where did you lose the ability to see yourself as worthy? Where did you lose your magic? Where did you stop thinking that you were brilliant? Okay, this is something, where did you stop? When did you stop feeling loved? Okay, when did you stop feeling loved? This is really important. This is what the block is. This is what we need to look at. Where is this specific lack of self-respect and self-worth directly, more than likely, and I'm saying this for the vast majority of you, comes from your childhood. It does not have to be that your mom tore you down, but it could be. But for the rest of you, it probably came from hearing what your mom said to herself, okay? So guidance and advice before we wrap this reading up for the day. Tarot ain't messing around, y'all. I hope you're paying attention. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you are writing this down so you can go back and be reflective and really answer your questions I'm asking and do the work, because tarot is not messing around today. We have the Tower. Here is Aries showing up very loudly and clearly. And you know what the Tower does? Either you go ahead and start looking at, where does this stinking thinking come from? Or life is just going to go ahead and show you very loudly and clearly. And so this can be a gentle mind cleanup. By that I mean, like one way, shape, form, or another, life is going to get you to Stop having this stinking thinking, the self-limiting beliefs about yourself that are keeping you stuck looking at the misery and not able to see the solutions, okay? Life is saying it is time to leave that behind. It is time to get out of this judgment seat that you're in and start to heal these old wounds. Because if you don't do it right now, if you are not the one who chooses to be like, yep, this is my limiting belief. This is what I think about myself. This is where I stop myself. I'm always looking in the mirror and going, oh, I don't like this thing about me, or oh, I don't like the way I think about that, or why do you keep making that mistake? That thing that you think about yourself, either deal with it now, or life will give you a situation where you have no opportunity but to deal with it. Let's get some timing on this card before we look at the underlying cards, and then we'll wrap it up. So if they do not deal with the situation, can we get some timing on the Tower card here? If my friends here don't heed my warning and start to understand where are their self-limiting beliefs, where do they lack respect and worthiness for themselves, when will this Tower arrive for them? When will this Tower arrive? Here we go. Now, right now, what's really crazy is it says Aries season. I'm actually filming this during Aries season, and I saw that when I don't see it now, but I saw it just a few seconds ago when I was shuffling. I saw it kind of like peek out, and I was laughing. I'm like, well, Aries season, that's a good year. That's a good year from now. And then it fell back in the deck. It didn't stick. It just kind of saw it jump out like that. And then this fell out. I'm like, oh, well, in my time, it is still Aries season. So that's very funny. In the next 4 days, you got very little headway on this. It's get real clear. Catch yourself saying something about yourself, calling yourself a dummy, or calling yourself stupid, or why do you do that, or why do you think that, or or belittling yourself, or looking at yourself in the mirror and going, oh my God, I hate my thighs. I'm telling myself, girls and ladies and gentlemen, your girl here, she hates her thighs. Yes, she does. And I will just talk crap about my thighs. There's where I need to focus on this, because if I don't in the next 4 days, oh, it's coming for me, okay? So it's time for me to figure out why does it matter? Why do I care so much about my legs? And why is it bothering me? Same thing for you, okay? That's the homework assignment, and you better do it now, okay? It's because the underlying energy, look how it's keeping you stuck in this limiting loop, okay? There's the Knight of Cups in reverse and the Lovers. Look, you have a choice. See how he's bringing the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups represents love, okay? That's the cup of love. See how it can't come to you? You have a choice. You can either block the love of yourself and allowing others to love you and allowing your love to express itself into receiving a very happy, healthy life, or, and that's what this is, by the way. This is what the Lovers is. This is, by the way, Archangel Gabriel. So you have Archangel, here's Gabriel, Raphael. I said that backwards. Gabriel, Raphael. The only one missing here is Michael, Temperance. But you can either learn to love yourself, accept yourself unconditionally, okay? Give yourself some self-respect. See yourself as worthy, okay? Or you can, it's going to keep not coming to you, okay? You got to understand the only thing stopping you from having what you want is the way you're talking to yourself about yourself. It's time to do the work, and it's time to do it right now. Don't F around and find out, okay? You do not. This is not the time to F around and find out is all I'm saying. And honestly, let me say that, but those of you who are not in a relationship and those of you who are in a relationship, this works for both ways. You either do the work or you're going to F around and find out, and this very well could have a very big impact on your relationships. The way, just like I said, you see how she's looking at the misery and not seeing the solution? You to keep on focusing on what's not working about yourself. Keep on not loving on yourself. Keep on hating on yourself. It could be that your relationships, specifically your romantic relationships, and if you don't have one, that's going to cause a longer block. And if you're in one, it's going to cause probably some tension. They're going to probably say something like, it could be my husband, and he would never, ever say this, but it could be. I'm saying as an example. He could just like in 5 days from now, if I'm still wake up that morning, I'm like, oh my God, I hate my thighs. He's gonna look at me and go, you're right, girl. You have got the worst, ugliest thighs in the whole world. You should never wear anything but long pants. Can you just imagine? But he would never say that. But that's what I'm trying to say. It's one of those type of situations where if you don't deal with it, life is gonna be like, let me mess up your whole world with a situation. Because let me tell you, the fight that will ensue, well, I would like to say we're not going to fight. We're going to have a calm conversation. Sure. All right, y'all. I hope that you found this helpful. This was an enjoyable reading for me. The time is ticking. Do the work. All right. Come on back. I'll be here. No, I won't. 4 days from now. That'll be this weekend. But I'll be here for the next 3 days. So I hope you come on back and see me. All right. I love y'all so much. Take care of yourself. I'll see you again.